Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers, while more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Flesh rounds Dalamo's shadow. How strange. Why could we not see all this before? I suppose it is only to be expected that corrupted crystals should accompany a disturbance of this magnitude. After all, the fragment likely pierced the ground to a depth of many hundreds of yards. Swirling ether leaking from the wound must wrap in the very air, creating a veil that hides these formations from the view. Well, it is not as if we expected this to be a straightforward task. Let's tread carefully, shall we, Joseph? It is imperative that we went through the depths of the structure and disable the mechanism that powers the Bahamut's regeneration. Of course, we should chance to encounter my grandfather upon the way. I shall not let him go again, not while there is hope that he may yet be saved. But mayhap we should put such thoughts from our minds until after we successfully gain interest to the place. That opening up ahead appears a suitable point of ingress. What the fuck is that? That armor? No, it couldn't be. Be on your guard, Joseph. Though it defies all reason that he should live, I know of only one who wears such armor. He whom the Empire raised as high as the Black Wolf himself, the legatus of the Sixth Legion. I speak of the madman who brought the Meteor Project to fruition. We face the White Raven, Nal Van Darnus, Heartbringer of the Seven Umbral era. Nal Van Darnus. Ah, that was the name of the fool who perished upon the eve of the promised Age of Glory. Should not be uttered within these hallowed halls. Out of love of his loyal servant, the one true deity named me now as Darnus. Deus Darnus. The one true deity? Bahamut! He speaks of Bahamut. Oh Lord Bahamut, thy name is as sweet water to parched lips. How my heart swells as thy sacred touch. This blessed sanctum is the domain of my God and his beloved children. Seek to defile its glory and you will answer to me. Oh, and the Maluk. How is this possible? From what Alfindo has told me, Niall was slain on the eve of the calamity. Whatever the truth of the matter, we must be on our guard. There can be no reasoning with the worshippers of a primal. Amen. The black shroud, the outer coil. Jesus, the Maluk.
Em direção ao piloto.
In tournament Hawkeye C03, Central Dex 3,295 yalms. I am reminded of the passages beneath Castrum Occidents. We must have traveled quite some distance below the surface. More of the same tunnels. 12 be good. Surely they cannot continue all the way down from the upper floors. It is difficult to see inside, but I have a terrible feeling those corridors house more of the dreadful guardians you have already faced. It is said that the Alagans excelled in a creation of chimerical beasts, and that the Red Moon teemed with a thousand fantastical monstrosities, all to prevent the enemies of the ancient empire from releasing the Elder Primal. I wonder, the creatures that prowled these halls, could they be the beloved children of which Niall spoke? Well, this is yet another mystery to ponder upon our return. Shall we continue onwards? That surely cannot be Dalamud. Where are we? The final resting place of Nalvan Darnus. This is a grave for the undeserving. As for the crime of trespassing upon my god's sanctuary, this place shall serve as your grave too. No. recognize that voice, Joseph, but never would he say such words. Come, let us finish what we came to do. All will be put alright when the final hulk lies dormant. Grandfather will be himself again, I'm sure of it. Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that this disabling this call will serve to slow the process. The display seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism we found in Manosian Hall. It shouldn't pose a problem. Joseph, forgive me. The moment I beheld Neil's transformation, hope withered in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. For all your fabled strength and skill, I felt certain that I was going to lose you, just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was no more before Bahamut's might. And yet, look how far we have come. It is incredible the feats of which we are capable, our boundless potential. It was this capacity for greatness I believe that grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I have come to understand that much at least. It is done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We have seen much that will benefit from Urianger's learned perspective. Oh, it's him. It's Louis Soir. What the fuck? Okay. Grandfather, it is you. Then why? Abandon this quest, Alize. I will not countenance further sabotage of the coils. Sabotage? But we must disable the coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival. Your defiance seals your fate. No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never... Foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be bested by such sniveling opponents? Listen well, we all exist at the pleasure of one divine will, and the world of Lord Bahamut is absolute. Scurry back into your holes, vermin. You have been granted this one reprieve, but should you be so foolish as to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life from you myself. The light in grandfather's eyes, he has suffered the same fate as Niall. My grandsire is no more. That was not but the phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expurged. I will not rest until I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. Do you hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Yours and my family will be avenged. Oh, damn.